In this video, we want to look at somebody that's posed the following question. I'm 37 with nothing saved for retirement. Is it too late to save a meaningful nest egg? Folks, what we do on this channel is we just use returns for the last 100 years for the S&P 500, and we simply project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. As you can see, there's all kinds of possible variations going forward. So what we're going to do is come up with a range. So we're going to go ahead and this person is 37. He has nothing saved. Okay. Now we need to figure out what he's going to get for Social Security. And you can actually do that quite easily if you go to Social Security Quick Calculator, type in your birth date, how much you currently earn, and you can go ahead and click on whether you want it in today's dollars. And these won't be his numbers, but this is what you'll end up getting. You're getting a benefit amount of what you're going to get at age 67. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to say he is going to get the 2,200 Social Security. Now we're going to have to figure out what his expenses are. Well, there's no way of knowing what his expenses are going to be in 30 years. So we're just going to use his current expenses. Let's say they're $5,000 a month. It should be about what somebody's making $60,000 or $70,000 a year. Of course, they'll probably spend a little bit less once they get to retirement. So we're going to say it's $5,000 today. That's actually going to grow by an inflation rate over the next 30 years. So there's 5,000. You're going to need 12,136 to have the same buying power as 5,000 today. You always need to take account inflation. Now, how much would he need to save? Let's go ahead and do $350 a month. And what this shows us, we on this channel, we use the returns right here. If we use these returns in the worst case scenario in the last 100 years, this would be the numbers for somebody saving $350 a month for the next, from 37 to age 67, for the next 30 years. You would have these kind of sums. Let's go down here and show you 30-year sums. Again, we promised you a range of what you would have. Should have $502,000 after 30 years of investing $350 a month in the S&P 500. If the returns were like they have been for the last 100 years, the worst case scenario to have is 502,000. The second worst, again, using numbers from the last 100 years, 512. And again, like we said, there's going to be a range. The median would be 906,000. And there's actually a time period over the last 100 years for a 30-year period. You have 2.25 million saved up. So you got anywhere from 502,000 to 225,000. And we like to look at kind of the worst case scenario to see. So you want to know, is he going to have enough for his nest egg? Well, if he ran into a string of returns like 1952, this is the worst year, 1952 for the next 30 years, you'd end up with 502,000. Well, if you start taking 7,522, which is a difference between your expenses and what you're going to get from Social Security. Again, these are approximations. You start taking that 7,522 out of there, keep looking at the returns we're getting for the last 100 years, you'd be out of money in 11 years. So that's the row we're kind of looking at right here. How long would your money last in the worst, second worst, third worst, and fourth worst scenarios? The median in this column, 22 years your money would be lasting. But I want to show you something. If we're doing that at $400 a year, $350 a month, watch what happens. Let's just go up one more year. Let's one more notch. Let's go $400 a month and watch how these numbers change because you're putting in more money. Now you're running out of money in 16 years in these worst case scenarios, 17 or whatever. Watch what happens if we just do one simple thing. Right now we got the median. You're running out of money in 29 years, which wouldn't be bad if you retire at age 67. But watch what happens if we just increase that $400 a month by 3% a year. Watch these numbers right here change, how much they vastly improve because you're putting in a little bit more each year for each month. Look at that. Now your money's lasting over 40 years. In every one of these scenarios, you do not run out of money. Why? Because you're putting in a little bit more each year. You probably wouldn't even recognize that because of the inflation of your wages, hopefully. You wouldn't really notice going from $400 a month to 412 to 424. Look at the difference that made, folks, going from not increasing that at all, keeping it $400 a month, and just going up to $300 or 3% more a year. And all of a sudden, you do not run out of money. Now, let's do something different. What happens? Let's keep these numbers going the same, realizing yes, it's not going to be that much more costly to increase that by 3% a year. What if you want to retire at age 66? Now, what happens is instead of getting 100% of this amount right here, you're going to get 93.3%. Now you have a problem retiring at age 66 These are the scenarios where you run out of money. The worst case scenario, you're running out of money in 20 years. Why? Because you're getting one less year of Social Security, one less year for this $400 and these numbers going down through for it to accumulate to. Now your worst case scenario, you got after 29 years, and I'll get the 29-year column here, you have 635,000. But you start taking out the 7,582, and you're running out of money. Again, the range is from here all the way out to 2.911. That's the range we have to work with. So we just want to show what the worst case scenario is when you start changing these variables. So again, if you want to retire a little bit earlier, these are the worst case scenarios. I want to just see what it would take. Let's say if the fifth worst, what we're basically saying is fifth worst means 95% of the time your money would last at least 23 years. Hopefully this makes sense here. How about if we go out to that maybe 90% of the time? The 10th worst, okay, you're running out of money in 28 years. That means 90% of the time your money's lasting at least 28 years. Given the numbers, given returns, like similar returns for what's happened for the last 100 years, this would get you to age 94, 66 plus 28. In the 90% of the time, you'd have this kind of money. Now, this 10% of the time, you'd have less than that. You'd be running out of money in 28 years or less. You can see these numbers going through. But that's what we like to do. We like to run numbers for people, just showing them. If you're just getting started, don't panic and think it's a lost cause, because if you can get started, you still have, if you wait till age 67, you still have 30 years for these numbers to compound. And just by increasing that $400 a month by just a little bit, 3% a year, you're putting in more money. This is accumulating, and your money does not run out if you retire at age 67. Folks, that's what we do on this channel. We run numbers for people. We love doing it. We set up spreadsheets and we look at all kinds of different variables. In other videos, we'll look in more detail about these different things that you really need to understand, like sequence of returns risk, the importance of your asset allocation, the impact inflation can have on your nest egg. We show that, the relevance of the 4% withdrawal rate, and how Social Security impact your planning. If we didn't have Social Security in there, we'd be sunk. Social Security is so crucial in planning. I realize it might be adjusted here in the next few years, but again, don't count it out as being completely gone. Go ahead and run the numbers, and that's what we do on this channel. We create spreadsheets. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please let people know about this channel. We run all kinds of numbers for people. We both do it in the accumulation stage and in the roll stage. In this one, we actually kind of combine the two just to show you where you might be and how often you might have a problem. If we have worst case scenarios, if your money can last these worst case scenarios, it's going to you have no problem lasting in the better case scenarios of what's happened over the last 100 years. Please like the video, please share it, and thanks so much for watching.